Well, hi everyone. I'm John Retland, back with another countdown. This is 10 best current wrestling heels. This topic was suggested by I'm Valena on Twitter, and also I have the face side of this list coming up in a little bit. I also want to mention that these are including wrestlers from WWE, NWA, AEW, and New Japan, basically all the promotions I watch. So if there are not any from Impact on here, or any from All Japan, or any promotions that you guys watch, excuse me for not understanding that, but please leave your picks in the comments. I would love to hear from you guys. And thank you, Valena, for the suggestion for this and the face side of it. I actually enjoyed doing this one, but I couldn't just limit it to 10. I had to do some honorable mentions, so let's run through them. Obviously, I can't mention every single face heel that I like, even from the indies. I have a few from the indies, and you know why that is, because I love me some indie wrestling as well. So, honorable mentions before I get gutted in the comments. Dr. Britt Baker, who is a dentist, by the way, if you don't know. The Spanish God, Sammy Guevara. Chris Bay, Dashing Chris Bay. He is absolutely fantastic in Impact. I got to see him a lot in Without a Cause. Local promotion in Everett, Washington, just the next city south from me. Max, shout out to you if you happen to be watching this. Really appreciate you for interacting with me on Twitter. He is a promoter of Without a Cause. Support your local indies, especially, during this time and when they come back. And then we get to Damian Priest. Damian Priest, the Archer of Infamy. And Karrion Kross, or Killer Kross, I'm just going to call him Killer Kross. Rebel Kell, who is a 6-foot stunner. She's very, very nice outside the ring, but inside the ring, she is a perfect heel. She's great, athletic, and talented as hell. And Gorillas of Destiny, I have to put them on here because Tama Tonga and Tanga Loa are just absolutely fantastic. So, without further ado, let's get to the top 10. I'm sure I'm going to get got in the comments here because there's one WWE person on this entire countdown here, and it's Seth Rollins at number 10. I admit that I'm 50-50 on the whole Messiah thing, but I will give Seth credit. Originally, a heel when he turned heel and joined the Authority, he, was pretty good for what he was. Yes, they made him a little bit too chicken shit. It kind of got, a little bit much, but as things went on, he was obviously a baby face, heel baby face, this kind of stuff. He really rose up as a face, and then that whole thing with the Fiend pretty much killed it. So since then, he basically is morphed back into a heel. Now, his whole Messiah thing has worked out pretty damn well. He is coming across as a full-on dick heel and actually is really succeeding. And maybe if they can actually, stop scripting him so much, let him go out there and cut his teeth and, just and just cut loose and everything and just have so much fun. Sink his teeth, rather, into a whole bunch of really, really good, meaty storylines. He actually can make this work. But yeah, you're really, being able to hate him here because Seth Rollins is easily hateable here. And as somebody mentioned, he took Becky Lynch away from us by impregnating her. I kid. I wish nothing but the best for both of them. And let's do that without being creeps. Can we stop being creeps towards wrestlers, please? Please, I beg of you. Even though I tend to make jokes, come on, guys, let's not be creepy like that. Let's wish them nothing but the best, but not do all the fan fiction stuff that I've seen flowing around. Seriously, guys, what the fuck? Anyway, number 9, Nyla Rose, a native beast, who is a woman, by the way. I don't really care if anybody wants to, start an argument with me. You can have your opinions. I have mine. That's really it. But the former AEW Women's Champion, I was hoping she would hold on to it a little bit longer. She recently lost it to Hikaru Shida at AEW Double or Nothing. And she really is good at making you hate her. Now, she is likable in the sense she's got, she's great on Twitter, by the way. Absolutely fantastic. But she is really good in the ring and making you hate her, doing better on promos. She really has gotten better on promos in the last few months. And the fact that she was a hateable women's champion, while being an inspiration to people, but being a hateable women's champion as as a full-on heel, it was great, and she really has gotten a whole lot better. And the only reason I put Nyla above Britt is while Britt has been doing good on some of her promos, there are times where I think that Britt's in-ring work maybe needs a little bit more polish. But that being said, this is subjective, and it's just my opinion. Number 8, Lance Archer, the Murder Hawk Monster. Everybody dies because of the claw, the EBD claw, the Everybody Dies claw. He started using that in New Japan. Loved him in New Japan. Love him here. Wish he would have beaten Cody, but I get why he didn't. I'm excited to see what happens, and hopefully Lance takes the title from Cody soon. But that being said, Lance is absolutely fantastic. He's great at just destroying people. He's been destroying jobbers. He's really, really good just having that face and kicking people's asses. And at 43 years old, that man is still able to move so goddamn well. You can tell he takes care of his body. He has trained right. and he's just so fucking. You fucking hate him. I mean, he's also great on Twitter. He seems like a great guy, but he seems like somebody you don't want to fucking fuck with at all, if that made any goddamn sense. But Lance is really damn good. Now we get to number 7, Shayna Baszler, the Yas Queen of Spades. I'm sorry. I'm 39 years old, and I'm talking like an idiot, as opposed to the past years when I've had this channel. Shayna Baszler, sure, her style isn't for everybody, but she is really good at getting you to hate her, and she has really done well. I mean, the stuff she said about Becky Lynch after she announced her pregnancy, that was good. I enjoyed that stuff, but Shayna, promos are not her natural thing, but when she gets it, she really, really gets it. In her style, she can make you hate her in the ring because she is that legit and that good, and she can destroy people. And she really, really is good. So while I get she's not everybody's cup of tea, and sometimes maybe, I'm 50-50 on her in ring work, you just can't deny how good of a heel she is. She really is goddamn good. She's a better heel than Charlotte, I'll say that much, because Shayna actually can provide interesting matches. So, number 6, Chris Jericho. Not Le Champion, but, his work since leaving WWE, has just been great. His stuff in New Japan I could have done maybe without him feuding with Naito, because that kind of didn't work like I think they wanted it to. But his build up to the match with Kenny Omega and his stuff in AEW, while not all of it has been great, and maybe I did originally question him being the first ever AEW World Champion, you know what? It worked. He's done a good job with the Inner Circle, despite the fact that Jake Hager's in there, and you have Sammy, and then you have the bad Hager. But Chris Jericho has really, really done well. Has some of the stuff been goofy? Yes, but I love his heel commentary. I love the fact that he can get the most out of a little. The whole Release the Hounds thing. I mean, he somehow managed to make segments with a drone work, at least more often than not. And he has helped elevate AEW. I've given him a lot of shit, and justifiably so, in my personal opinion. But hard not to argue about, Chris Jericho being one of the best heels in wrestling. And is he going to wrestle past next year? Probably not. But right now, one of the best current heels. However, there's one that's just a little bit better than him in AEW, and that's MJF. Because he's better than you, and you know it. Now, he's only number 5. People probably expected him to be number 1. Nope, you might be surprised by my number 1. But honestly, MJF is fucking terrific. He's great on promos. He's pretty good in the ring. Is he better on promos than in the ring? Sure. I mean, you could argue with that. Except then that match with Jungle Boy at Double or Nothing happened, and he really just was able to showcase how good he was in the ring, and Jungle Boy as well. Jungle Boy is going to be a premier star. And MJF, just the fact that he's 24, he's got it. He really is that goddamn hateable. You fucking just want to punch him. You just want to sock him in the face. You want to, destroy him. You want to just, beat his ass. Unfortunately, you can't because, A, he can back it up in the ring. And even if you try to, oh, yeah, he's got, a guy with one of the worst themes in the world, Wardlow. But Wardlow's a big lad that can throw people around a whole lot. Lad, I have watched too much British stuff. I've watched Zero Punctuation way too much. If you know what that is, you get why I might use some British slang here and there. But MJF is just fucking great. He's incredible. Very, very good on promos. But he's not the best, because I got 4 more. Number 4 is Nick Aldis. There is no reason why Nick Aldis should not be in someone's top 5 unless you're just not watching the NWA. Because Nick Aldis is great. Now, he is a very, very good guy, and he is a very good champion, and he is somebody that is an inspiration because he carries himself like a champion. It's like a modern... I don't really want to say modern Luthez. Not Kanitsky. I would say he's just modern, he's a throwback to the old school NWA champion, but brought up into the modern age. He can perform well, he can do the top rope moves, he's very agile, he's been around for a number of years. It's been well over a decade that he's been in wrestling, and you can tell he's just gotten better, and he carries himself like a champion. He's just great at cutting people down in studio wrestling or otherwise. He really is goddamn good. Nick Aldis is fucking fantastic and deserves his spot on this list. Number 3, Minoru Suzuki. Okay, Minoru Suzuki's probably the one cool heel on here, because you really don't want to mess with Minoru Suzuki. I don't care if he's 51 or 52 years old. I'm terrified of him. Whenever he passes away, say 20, 30 years from now, I will still be terrified that his ghost is going to come after me. Minoru Suzuki is fucking frightening, because that man hits like a goddamn truck. He can absolutely destroy you if he wants to. the amount of great matches that he's had, and he has a goofy side. If you see his Instagram, you would know that. He did a partnership with Hello Kitty, for fuck's sake. But in the ring, scary. Absolutely scary. Him facing John Moxley, that was great stuff. Him facing Jushin Thunder Liger when he was Battle Liger back in October. Minoru Suzuki is just scary, and it's that look like, when they start with the chop fest and the slap, he just has that look like he just starts laughing. I'm like, okay, run, just run through the ocean, run to Hawaii. You're still not going to be safe, but at least maybe, Minoru won't catch up with you for a goddamn day. I kid, I have fun, but Minoru Suzuki is truly frightening, but a great goddamn heel. And the fact that he can still perform as well as he does at his age with all the miles that he has on his body, he really does train right, and he is fucking scary, fucking frightening. I know there's a couple girls who may be watching this that really like Minoru Suzuki. I'm not shaming, I'm just saying, you all like Minoru Suzuki a whole lot, and it's hard not to. It's really hard not to like Minoru Suzuki. That way, or just the fact that you're just frightened by him. Number 2, Jay White. Now, I was debating putting Jay White this high. Because, and I'm going to say something controversial here, Jay White's in-ring work is great with the right opponent, and adequate with pretty much anybody else. He's good in the ring, he has the fundamentals down, and he knows how to do, the right stuff to get people to hate him. The problem is a lot of his spots seem awkward. And I know sometimes stuff's just called in the ring and whatever, and even if they go over some stuff, sometimes they'll just say, oh, this is a great idea, I'll do this. Sometimes Jay White's matches are pretty damn good. That match with Okada at G1 Supercard last year was really good. The G1 Climax Finals with Kota Ibushi was really, really good. And he's had good matches on occasion. And even I say a couple of the matches he had in the G1, before that, when he faced Hiroki Goto and Hiroki Goto beat him. Tomohiro Ishii. When Chaos put him down 0-3, and then he came back and, he got to the finals and he lost. And it was great because Kota Ibushi won when he should have won the year before. But that being said, Jay White is very good. He does make the crowd hate him. Now, part of that could be the fact that he's speaking English, and maybe the vast majority of Japanese fans don't quite understand what he's saying. But he does get you to hate him with his actions in the ring. He's not number 1, though. We're sticking with New Japan. Number 1 is Kenta. If you would have told me this time last year that Kenta was going to be the best heel in New Japan, I would have laughed in your face. Because at this point, Kenta wasn't even going to be in New Japan. He didn't show up until Dominion in Osaka with Shibata in his corner. And then the face thing, it didn't work. It didn't. Nobody wanted to cheer him because he was from Pro Wrestling Noah, and he was an outsider. He'd been in WWE, he'd been in NXT, WWE, and then 205 Live. He was in Purgatory. And he'd had injuries and stuff like that, and he was coming to New Japan to rehab his career. I thought he was just going to be there for a bit and go back to Noah. Nope, it actually turns out that Kenta rather stuck with and, beat Kota Ibushi in the G1. That's where I got a little bit confused there, Kenta and Kota. But Kenta was, he was kind of starting to show some heel stuff. It's like, okay, he's still going to be a face and everything. And then he turns on when he teams with Tomohiro Ishii, and that, in that one match on the G1 Climax final show, he's beating everybody up, and then Shibata comes out, and Shibata beats him. Shibata, by the way, who had to retire due to, brain stuff, bleeding on the brain, everything. They weren't going to clear him, but he did that spot. They made sure not to hit his head. But, he, after Kenta finally laid him out, beat him up and everything, and just did the pose where he did the Shibata pose and just sat on him. The crowd wanted to fucking kill him. The crowd also wanted to kill him in the Tokyo Dome when Tetsuya Naito finally beat Okada and held aloft the Intercontinental and the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, and Kenta interrupted the celebration, and oh fuck, I thought people were going to rush the ring. I thought we were going to see I thought the ring was going to be blown up. I thought the fans were going to set fire to everything. They weren't going to just set fire to the ring. I thought they were going to set fire to the ring and everything, and burn Kenta at the stake. I know it's a bit dark, but they were hot, literally. And Kenta had already been pretty much the most hated man in New Japan after what he did to Shibata, or at least he was getting close. He has surpassed Jay White as far as I'm concerned. Now, Jay White still has plenty of years left. Kenta has a few years, and whenever New Japan resumes its schedule and decides to do its stuff, again, whether it's in front of fans or just, they have wrestlers around ringside like, say, AEW, and they decide to do empty arena shows just to put on content, Kenta's still going to be, just by and large, the most, head and shoulders, the most hated man in professional wrestling, at least of the promotions I've seen. Now, you can let me know in the comments what you guys have to say, but I think Kenta is the number one heel. So, anyway, at least the number one current heel. So, thank you very much, Valena, for the suggestion, and please leave your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Retland. I'll see you soon.